Okay, this is the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs 1970 scrapbook of memorabilia. As you can see here, this is from Italy, from Crest Company. These were actually made in 1970, and so were these. They were on those little Avon bottles or something. These are little, and that's metal. That's thick, metal. And then there's a sticker on the back. And so this is the scrapbook. I'm going to put this video on YouTube. This is another medallion type stick-on thing. And I'm going to put this on YouTube because it's going to be more than 55 seconds that eBay will allow. Eight by 10 glossies, some stuff from magazines. And then this is a read-up on the season, the before game interviews, during the game stuff, after game interviews in the locker room when they're celebrating, written by some of the greatest sports writers of that time and of all time. Lots of pictures. This scrapbook has more pictures of that season than anything I've ever seen anywhere. So just so you know. And there's some room to still put a lot of things in here. I've got some autographs, not that many. Those little cards that have part of the uniform and stuff for the players. I have a couple of those. All the box scores for every single game played is kind of, does the season statistics for everybody, and then it's got the season opener. They won 27-9 over the Chargers. Box score. Other scores in other games. All the statistics of the game. This is for every game. I'm not going to go through that. For every game, we'll just kind of know that that's going on. Second game, they won 31-0 over the Patriots. Then they won 20. Then they lost 24-19 against the Bengals. So actually, the Bengals were 3-0 and they were 2-1. And then they won 26-13 over the Broncos. All the stats, everything, every game. They won 24-0 over the Oilers. The Oilers were good back then. They won 17-10 over the Dolphins. They were 5-1 at that point. Then they won 42-22 over the Bengals, 6-1. Then they won 29-7 over the Bills, 7-1. Then they won 27-3 over the Chargers, 8-1. And then they get into Sports Illustrated. Chiefs paint New York red. They beat the Jets 34-16. That's week 10. 9-1. Then they lost to the Raiders and 27-24. Then they beat the Broncos 10-2. They're 31-17 in that game. Then they beat the Bills 22-19, 11-2 record. Then the Raiders beat them. Now keep this in mind. The Raiders were 12-1-1. Kansas City was 11-3. So that was a big game. That was week 14. So then the playoffs started, and Kansas City beat the Jets 13-6. All the stats and everything. And then Kansas City beat the Raiders 17-7 to go 13-3 for the season going into the Super Bowl. And then they beat the Minnesota Vikings 23-7 in the Super Bowl. And that is the Super Bowl, actual Super Bowl program. Authentic. I got a little piece of tape here so you can pop that off to open it up so that it keeps it from falling out. Doesn't hurt it at all. Excellent condition book on this one. And then it's got the Super Bowl edition Sports Illustrated. Same thing. This is just a piece of tape that goes up and takes that out so it doesn't fall out. And of course, the stats and the box score. And in the Super Bowl, the entire play-by-play. The entire Super Bowl. And then it's got the 1970 Kansas City Chiefs trading cards, Topps trading card set, and the Pro set that was made years later, and 4 Kansas City Chiefs vintage looking pennants. I don't know if they're actually that old, probably not. They're just remakes, but over 130 glossy photos coming up. There's a few 8x10 glossies, but there's over 130 4x6 glossies. Those are your cards. Shows little pictures of them and their numbers, and then these cards are in like a scrapbook type format with pictures, and these are in their actual casings. You know, those little plastic cases, you can pull them out. So you can see here that these are bigger than the regular card insert pages protectors. So these, I have more of these if someone needed them, but you can see pictures on both sides. This really makes a scrapbook look way nicer. I don't even know if they sell those anymore. I have still a bunch of them though. And so that's the whole card set. This is the last card of the set. And then these are those Pro set cards I was talking about. They're very, very much not valued compared to the regular cards, of course. And Topps. And then there's some autographs. There's 2 Steneroods that are identical cards. There's a Bobby Bell autograph, signature series card, then a part of Dawson's jersey and enclosed, and same thing here, another Dawson jersey enclosed. More pictures, so it's a certificate of authenticity like they are. And there's those pennants we talked about. And here come the pictures, 130 of them. So that would be 10 per page. 10, 20, 30, and they're all in great shape. That if you see any glare, it's just because of the window shining on this plastic. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. And that's the College Hall of Fame game issue of Sports Illustrated, where they shut out the College All-Stars. These are just some extra little pictures and stuff and a pen. And there you have it. So good luck winning this one. A very beautifully put together book that you can kind of keep everything hidden, so that when you want to show it to someone, you just bring it out and it doesn't have to be left out where someone can snatch it off the wall or something. There you have it.